Oh.
Hi. Alex says hi.
Hello.
Jenny.
Tell her we're on a call.
Mimi, here's Alex.
Have you seen Becky?
Hi, Mimi.
Oh,
Yes.
we're on the tube, yeah.
Yeah, we're on Zoom.
All right, Becky.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Why don't I call you after? Yeah, I'll call you after.
Here's Becky, the founder.
Where's Becky?
We love you.
Hi, honey.
Love you.
Is that Becky?
And your parents.
Hi, sweetie.
Thank you for
Becky.
calling.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
Hi, Auntie Vaughn. Love you. Hi, you guys.
Oh, hello.
Guys.
Oh, Brooke and Mike.
Oh, that's Stephanie's iPhone.
Hello, Becky.
Hi, Auntie Beck. Oh.
Love you,
Hello,
Becky.
is that Hannah?
Daddy.
Is that Hannah? Who is it? I can't see.
Okay, I'm gonna keep walking.
All right, let's go.
Hello, hello.
This one, let's walk on.
Hi, Auntie Vaughn. Where's Miss Hig?
Oh, hi. She's on there.
I just saw her.
She has to talk
Hi,
to you.
Miss Hig. It's Chris and Stacy. Diana, hi.
Hi. Hi, hi.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
So happy you're there with her.
Oh, I
You
would
guys are great.
Well,
so happy to be
You're
here.
awesome.
yeah,
Take good care.
Wish we could be there.
I'm on. I'm on.
We.
Yeah, right now, I think I'm on like with Steve's parents and aunts and uncles, and so they're all kind of checking in with each other, and then people are going by the laptop that's there at the park, and they're coming on to say hi to the Sumners and all that. So
Tony.
I'm
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
so
Indeed
there's
you
like
are,
a
Steve
laptop going
Carbone.
around, and people are going and saying hi to the family members and people.
On Hannah.
People that knew him. So I'm
where's
watching.
Hannah?
Right there. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Where Hannah
Say
is.
hi to your grandparents.
Hi, Mom.
Hi. Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
there.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks really sad. Oh, here's Hannah. So if you can see Hannah talking into a
miss you.
computer, that's it.
Miss you too.
Yeah. So
I know.
okay, well that's nice. It looks really nice. Like there's lots of big photos of people that did some cool stuff. So
Girls, you want to say hi to everybody?
I'm seeing that. Yeah.
Hi.
Of the fence, of the
Hi
baseball
there.
fence. Yeah.
Hi,
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Hi, honey.
No, someone walked by with the laptop, so I saw all those. Yeah.
Hi, Mama.
Okay. Thanks, Deb.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
how are you?
Bye-bye.
Hanging in. Just
Hi,
like you.
Corin. Hi, Dee.
Great to see you, Courtney.
Yeah, you too. How are you, Corin?
Hi, Courtney.
Hi, Jerry. Oh, Jay's on your hi, Jay.
Hello.
Ooh,
What a beautiful mask, Courtney.
it's beautiful.
Oh, about lighting candles?
You guys, here's the sunset from Arizona.
Oh,
It's beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
Isn't it?
More people on.
It's pretty amazing.
More people on.
mhm.
Hi, Roger and Daddy.
Hi.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Danny's on there.
Hi, Danny.
Got my camera off because I've got a candle lit and you can't see much.
Hey, Trooper's here. Look at Trooper.
Oh, hi, Trooper.
Trooper. Hooray for Trooper.
Got the trooper.
Nancy and Bill, your son touched a lot of lives.
Show the candles.
Oh, here.
My mom had something that I wanted to read. I just don't know.
Look at all the people.
I see your right eye, Dana.
Oh, sorry, Papa.
Where is she?
Right there.
Let me see. There you
Yeah,
are.
now we see your whole
Sorry.
face.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's what they did with all the photos.
That's why you told me before.
Oh, that's so cute.
A plunger, he can come.
Yeah, but he got his camera pointing at
I don't see Eliana yet.
Yeah, and that was the official one.
Yes.
He's enjoying
Keith.
that right around showing. Is that Charlie Brown?
No.
Where? Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Hi. Mhm.
Hi, Kathy.
Oh, Kathy.
Bless you. We have a candle.
On the baby face.
lighting candles.
I think I'll take the 49er hat off.
It looked nice, Diana.
I need a haircut.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
I don't.
I
No.
don't.
Roger doesn't.
Got mine this morning.
Neither.
They're all in service.
Diana, it's Karen Guggenheim.
Hi. Where are you?
I'm
Oh, okay. I don't see you, but hello.
hello.
This
This is so heartbreaking. It's just
Oh, it is.
and those girls, they're just amazing.
Yes. I am so impressed. Becky is so fortunate. I know she's done a lot for them and they're just doing a lot for
You
her.
bet. And they
Yeah.
will their whole lives.
Yes,
Will always be this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so good to see you, Karen.
And you too, Diana. It's a pity that
Yeah.
it has to be now.
It's a pity that we can't be there.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's breaking your heart not to be here.
It is.
Yeah. And Al and I wanted to go, and Lori didn't want us to go because she said there's too many people.
I know. And we just can't do it.
No, I know.
Yeah. And Nancy and Bill too.
Yeah. Well, I wish you all well, and
Thank you. Thank
Becky
you.
knows I'm here for her. So,
Yes, absolutely.
all right. I'm sending much love to you.
Thank you. It's Lori's mom. She's telling.
Right, that's where it's gone.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
I don't know. My folks.
We've lost everything except the top line. It says a huge Charlie in the middle of our black screen. And then we
I
see
think
Hunter in the
Okay, when
top.
I start
There's
talking,
an
can you
arrow
see?
back.
Well, there we are.
Can you see
Bill?
when I start talking?
Bill,
I
go.
can barely hear you, but
Can you hear us?
there's Jerry.
Yes.
Can you hear
Like
us?
to explain to Bill and Nancy something to fix their
But I
Zoom?
think everybody should mute now.
Okay. We're muted. I think we have Danville on the screen. And only Danville, and that's fine.
Okay.
Because we muted ourselves so we could hear them.
Oh, I see.
But when
Mimi
I
and
mute it,
Papa, you guys
everything
aren't
else
muted.
goes.
Mimi
What?
and Papa, Mimi, you aren't muted.
We are not muted. Oh.
No, I
Okay,
can hear
all we
you.
see on our screen is a big black thing and it says Dana's phone. That's probably because you were the one
It's
talking.
because I'm talking. See, now you see me.
You're muted now.
Hannah, can you go sit next to Mom? And I need to find really big.
Okay. Can everybody hear me? Wave if you can hear me. Yes, we can. Okay. All right. We're going to get started.
Can I have your attention, please? Can I have your attention? Those of you that have, we're going to begin. Those of you who have the roses that were given to you, please bring them up to these vases over here behind the backstop. There's a row of vases for those flowers. And then everybody, please make your way to in front of this staging area, and then we'll get ready to go.
Jenny, where do you want to be? You get that out. Oh, thank you.
Beth, like Seward.
I hope it's okay to take my mask off for a little bit. Okay, thank you. Where's the dog? I don't know. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Gina. How are you? Who was that guy right there? Tell him to come over here.
That's Rich, Doris.
Well, tell him to come and sit.
You're an ugly jacket.
How are you?
That jacket is so ugly.
What's up, Red? Where are the boys? Yeah? Okay.
Are they able to hear us? Do you have them all on mute? Hey everyone. I'm gonna go up.
Working on it. I'm gonna want to bring the joke I'm gonna talk.
Yeah, yeah. It was like, just tell us where your minions.
Good to go?
Okay. Hey, I love you. More to come.
So I heard that
I think Chinese is really like it's tight out. Right. I'm Mo.
yeah, like an instrumental type. Yeah. So I'm gonna kick things up. So who's actually gonna speak?
Can I get you anything that's water?
All right. Ready?
Are you ready? Are you?
Good evening. Thanks everybody for such the truly remarkable turnout on a cold and windy night. As you all know, we're all here to honor our friend, father, brother, son, tremendous individual, Stephen Sumner. The last few days have been difficult for all of us. The suddenness of this tragic event caught all of us completely off guard. And we've spent the last couple of days trying to sort through our feelings about this, trying to make sense of everything that's happened. I know many of us aren't there yet, but the hope is, you know, all of us together, and I see so many friends, family, the entire community, people who've come from far and wide, coming together so that we can share in our grieving process. Because this is definitely, you know, and I want to make this clear to Becky, Anna, Will, and everybody in the family, that you're not alone. Look around us. There's hundreds of people here. Every single person here has been touched by Steve in some way. I know I have. And I've spent the last couple of days struggling with this loss. You know, he was not just my next door neighbor, he was a brother to me. You know, we spent countless hours sitting around campfires in our backyard, you know, talking about things like fatherhood, things like the 49ers, things like the Warriors, any topic that I wanted to talk about with Steve. He not only indulged me, but dove in passionately, you know, with the energy that I saw him in his devotion to his family, his friends. You know, everybody here knows Steve, and I've been hearing this as a common theme over and over again as people and as well-wishers have been coming to the house, to our court, to grieve. It's unanimous. The theme is, you know, none of us have seen any person that's more devoted to their family than Steve, more devoted to his friendships with each and every one of us, no more devotion than anybody. Sorry, I've never met a more devoted individual than Steve Sumner. And before, I mean, just to give you a sense for the next, you know, however long. We're going to start with a few words from Becky and Hannah and the family, and we're going to open up the mic to any and all who wish to say a few things about Steve. But there is one thing that I do want to honor Steve with, and many of you that I see here today have been involved with the Adventure Guides, the YMCA program. You know, it's a program for fathers and their sons and their daughters to get together and go on really an early adventure with each other. But a foundational tenet of this program is friends forever. Right? It's something that we are introduced to as kindergartners, where we not only pledge our friendship to our children, but to each other, you know, as dads, as fathers, as friends. You know, we're in this together, you know, this whole parenthood thing. And I just want to kick things off with, and a lot of you guys will have to help me out here because I'm going to ask for you guys, or all of you out here, we're going to do a big Friends Forever chant for Steve. Because he's up there now and he's looking at us, and yeah, this is my big shout out to you. So, Friends Forever on 3. 1, 2, 3. Friends Forever! Thank you. You ready?
I am so overwhelmed by the faces I see out here. All these lives that Steve touched. Your friendship and your support mean more than you will ever know to us. We are in shock, and I am shattered. Steve Sumner was the love of my life and the best husband and father you could ever imagine. He did everything for me, and I know many of you know that. I didn't cook. I don't do the bills. The only thing I did was clean the house. Oh, Will reminds me my enchiladas are good. And that's only because my sister-in-law taught me how to make them. I just can't even express the depth of my gratitude for all of you. When I see all your beautiful faces out here, I see Steve. Steve never met a person that didn't become his friend. He kept in touch with every friend he ever made in every part of his life. He loved the Adventure Guides. He loved being a scout and being together with Will, and he loved this dog. And he got up every morning and walked him. And now I'm doing that, and it's giving me a reason to get out of bed every day. But most of all, he loved his children the most, and he was so proud of both of them. I want to thank everyone who made all this possible tonight to bring us together. I'm still in shock, but I feel your love and I feel your strength, and that is what's going to carry us through. So we love you all. Thank you. I have to sit down now or I might faint, but Hannah.
I want to say something. Okay, you go first. Thank you to everybody for coming here. It really means a lot. I was so soon my dad, but it wasn't anybody in the whole world. I just want to say that it means a lot to me for everybody to be here. Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Hannah, I'm Steve's daughter. I have my cousin Courtney up here with me and Alyssa, because I know I'm not going to be able to finish the speech. I had to type it up because I knew I'm not going to be able to finish it. So we'll see how far I go with it. Steve Sumner, a kind, funny, caring, loving man that I'm proud to call my father. My dad was a loving and hardworking man. He did everything to make my family happy and to make us feel loved and safe. He was everyone's friend, and he loved all of you so much. He was welcoming to everyone that came to our home or that he ever met. I'm so happy I got to spend so much time with him. My dad loved amateur car racing with the Quattro Cervezas racing team, and he enjoyed spending time with his team full of friends. He loved to hike in Yosemite and all throughout Los Trompos. He loved to walk our dog Trooper. He would wake up early in the morning to walk him and take time out of his busy days to walk him in the afternoon. My dad loved to cook so much. He's the best chef I will ever know. He cooked the best meals and had so much fun cooking with Will and I. He was very passionate about getting our backyard finished, and he loved to make other people happy. He built an amazing life for our family.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
And went to so many games with his friends. Many people looked up to him and admired him. Him and my mom just celebrated their 19th wedding anniversary. My mom was so grateful that he was her husband and he was the love of her life. She knew from the moment
Total mess. Like his kids are just up there. Well, this is where they're shooting from this place in California.
Some of you know, they lived in a hotel for about 3.5 months. Even though through living in hotels sucked, my dad made sure we were all comfortable. I am lucky I got to spend hours with him teaching me how to drive, how I shouldn't be on my phone while I'm driving on the freeway. My dad was so funny and full of laughter and smiles. He is so loved by everyone here and the people who can't be here too. On behalf of my mom and my brother and I, we want to express how grateful we are for your outpouring love and support to our family. We are overwhelmed by the kindness and support from our community and family and friends. We know that you all will hold us up in these days, weeks, months, and years to come. Thank you. There are not strong enough words to express our deep gratitude. Thank you all for so much for being here. We love you all.
Would anyone else from the family would like to speak?
I'm Allie. I'm Steve's sister. And my heart is so happy to see all of you here celebrating his life. I think the weird thing about life is we always feel like there's more time. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna do that thing that I want to plan. And the thing about my brother is he actually did get to the things that really meant a lot to him, including spending time with his family, cherishing Becky, taking care of Trooper. Keith woke up the other morning and he's like, oh my gosh, what about Trooper? Who's gonna watch Trooper? Who's gonna feed him? Because Stevie really did do it all. And I know he's with us and will be with us. So I encourage you guys just to be present in the moment and listen for his voice, whether it's at a football game, at a baseball game, while you're having a beer, making a really awesome burger. You know, he's there. And so his death was sudden, but he was doing something that he loved, right? He was biking up Mount Diablo. And I want you guys to know that he didn't die alone. There was an angel up on that mountain that held him and comforted him. And we are forever grateful for that stranger that we've not been able to find for giving us that gift to Steve. Again, thank you all for being here.
Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm his niece, and for the past couple of days, I've been just thinking about all the memories that we've had, including going to Sagewood and looking for candy, and him buying us ice cream, and him throwing us in the pool, and just him cooking the best meals with my dad, and them just laughing so hard and just having the time of their life. And he's the best uncle I could ever ask for, and I don't even know where I would be without him. He's helped our family so much through all of our tough times, and yeah, that's all I have to say.
We love you, Courtney. We love you, Courtney. Thank you, Allie.
Hello, everybody. So, wow, that's a lot of people. So we are Becky's brothers. This is Becky's brother, Don, and I'm probably more familiar as just Uncle Ted. So, as so many of you know, I've been a part of the Sumner family for their entire time in Danville. And first, our mother, Diana, and stepdad, Rob, couldn't be here right now, but I do have something to read from my mother. To my son, Steve, yes, I consider you my son, though not by birth, but by love. I will never forget the adoration on your face when you married Becky. You both have experienced so much, and your love just became stronger. It was you and I who had the privilege of being present at the arrival of your children into the world. From the very beginning, you were a natural father. They will cherish the life they have shared with you forever. Your parents became good friends, and we have had some great family times with them, and Allison and her family. I remember all the times you cooked in my kitchen and shell, bumping your head on the pots, banging from the pot rack. Also the crab feeds when you and Rob cleaned and cooked all that crab. Then there were the annual smoke fests. I want you to know that as long as I am privileged to live on this earth, I will cherish and care for Becky, Hannah, and Will. Thank you for being in my life. I love you, Diana. And then just something that I want to add, just mainly to Nancy and Bill. Steve took me into the family. I could never fill his shoes in trying to be him, but I adore this family, and I will do everything for the rest of my life to make sure that his dreams and wishes for his wife and his children are fulfilled. I will be there for you forever.
Thank you.
Tim, anybody else from the family like to say a few words?
Come here, little guy. All wrapped up.
It's for shorter people. Made it for Becky. Yeah, this is absolutely overwhelming to see so many people. I would have 5 people at my age. He truly did connect and stay connected with such a wide variety of people, from neighbors to school, events. And he did enjoy life. Steve Steve was unique. There was no other Steve. And talking politics, sports, anything, he was incredible at looking at both sides, really understanding people's perspectives. And I just really loved talking with him and being with him, and just a lot of good memories, and his devotion as a dad was just amazing. He always put his kids first, made sure they were taken care of. When you do events, he was focused on them. You wouldn't know their names because he never called them by their name. That was Steve. And yeah, that dog, boy. I never saw that side of Steve when he gets around that dog. So for all of us, as Ali said, you know, life is precious. We don't know how long we're here. And, you know, it's just a wake-up call to appreciate every single day, the people around you, and to look at this and say, man, I want to touch people like this. I want to make my life count and make a difference. So Steve did that for us, and I could still hear his voice and his smile. And I'll take that with me, and I'll never forget that. And I hope you guys don't either. So.
Thank you, Uncle Keith. Thank you.
Would anyone else from the family like to speak before I open it up to everybody else? Okay. Oh. Mike? Oh. Matt.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm pretty blown away, as I imagine most people are. I've had a tough year. Steve really has taken care of me the last 12 months. I make a list every week, and this morning on the list was 7:45, walk with Steve at Big O. But I want to tell sort of an uplifting Steve Sumner story. It's really epitomizes who he was as a man. I've been dear friends with Steve and Becky for over 30 years. And in high school, for those of you who knew Steve, he was a very good athlete. And he went to a tiny school where we grew up in Hillsborough, a private prep school. There was a kid on the team, and I can't remember what the kid's name was because I went to a public school, but the kid was a very good basketball player. And he and Steve played together. And the coach really loved this other kid and pushed him. And I think the kid ended up playing at Yale or Harvard. He was very good. And in the playoffs that year, I remember going to a game, and their team won. And the coach, you know, in high school, the coach tells the local paper, the details. So it was like whatever this guy's name was, you know, led the way as he has the whole year with, you know, 17 points and 7 rebounds and was a dominant defender. And the last line, which Steve he's had the article for 30 years. The last line was Steve Sumner chipped in with 37. And Steve didn't give a shit. He just didn't care. And he and I have talked, and sort of our catch line for the last 30 years, anytime I hang up the phone with them or anytime I've given them a hug and a kiss goodbye, I'd be like, Steve Sumner chipped in with 37. Anyway, I love you, Steve, and I'll miss you. Take care.
Evening all, my name is Glenn. I'm Steve's friend. We're all friends. It would be a disservice if I didn't come here and say something. Although I didn't think that he would expect me to. Thank you. Thank all of you. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I loved him, and I was his friend. You know, he wasn't my dad, he wasn't my husband, he wasn't my son, he wasn't my brother. So I can only feel and I can only imagine the pain. You people are amazing. Aldo, I mean, I met a handful of you. Lars, I mean, I'm just, every time I come here, I'm more amazed. A lot of void, a lot of gaps. Public speaking, I should have concentrated more on that. But the point is that, again, it's amazing. Steve was amazing. Amazing begets amazing. What we're doing here tonight, remember this. Remember this for the next 15, 20, 25 years. Remember there's parents grieving in Arizona. These people, they may never meet you, but they need your love. You guys have a strong community. I know Steve, he'd be so happy. And you guys make me proud as his friend that all of you are here celebrating his life. I love Steve. I love back Hannah and Will, always. And even Trooper, yeah, even Trooper. I love you too, buddy.
Said his name right.
I did, finally. So thank you very much for having me up here. God bless everyone. God bless Steve Sumner.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would love to give an opportunity to some of our childhood friends. If you guys feel comfortable, I'd love to have Gavin come and talk, as well as Julie and Jackie and Sean Burns and others that. Oh my gosh, I do. Beautiful. The best.
I'm gonna get down on it. Wow. My name is Greg. I've known Steve since kindergarten. K through 5, we would go down to his house at lunch, like tackle football in the mud. Come back to park school and get sent home because we were too damn muddy. Go to different high schools, stay in touch a little bit here and there. Of course, I didn't go to the Hillsborough Prep School. Needless to say, anytime you run across each other, a hug, a handshake, everything. He did it right. Fast forward, we all go to different colleges. He at LMU, I actually went to Pepperdine for a year, and I know Glenn loves that. Fast forward beyond that, post-college, we end up on the peninsula. I end up getting a job with the San Francisco Giants, so lucky me, I get to see Steve all the damn time. He did it right. I just thought the last time I spoke to him was early April. I had something to talk. I think it was he probably bought Giants opening day tickets for many of the people here. And I called him up and just said, hey, Steve, I'm going to take care of that refund right away. And it's probably something I could have done via text or via email. But it felt right to pick up a call that day, pick up a phone and hear his voice. I asked him how he was doing, if he was over the Super Bowl yet. He said no. I said, I feel you. I didn't tell him I loved him. I wish I had, but I think he knew. I know he knew. My family hurts for you. I was just with my mom and dad in Southern California. They are praying for you. My family is right across the bay. Whatever you need, when you're ready, never pay for baseball again. I love you.
Love you too.
I've always looked up to him. I always will. And everyone here knows, and I'll say it last time, he did it right. God bless you, brother.
Thank you. Great.
Yeah, we have an open mic.
Yeah.
Please. So my name is Aldo, and I've lived in this town for 22 years. My beautiful family sitting over there. And I actually have had the opportunity, the good fortune to be a good friend of Steve's for at least half of it. And I knew Steve, I knew who he was, but I didn't really get to know Steve until I had the privilege of coaching Hannah Sumner in soccer. And little Shimmer, I would have to say, in terms of growth in one season, I coached 10 plus years of Mustang soccer. It's a lot of kids. And in terms of one season, the kid who probably grew the most and, improved the most in a single season was Hannah Sumner. And I'll tell you, she made me really proud, but more importantly, she made Steve really proud. And I know he was so proud of you, and Will, you too. And by the way, that jacket looks awesome on you. And so Mustang soccer was great. And what's funny is, a head coach, you need the parents to step up. Someone to do the snack schedules and do the pictures and whatever, right? So we had our team meeting, and I said, I'm going to need some volunteers. Steve hops up. He's like, what do you need? I'll help coach. I'll ref. What do you need? So he refed every single game that season. And we came to know that we were each 49er fans, big season ticket holders, back at the Stick. And he said, you got to come hang out at a tailgate with me sometime. And I had my own little thing. I'm like, okay, Steve, yeah. So one time I went, and I never went back to the old tailgate. I was with Steve and Glenn and Benny the rest of the way. And, that's how he is, though. He's so inviting. He is so much fun to be around. And he recently I had a big birthday. And it was right in the middle of COVID, right? No one was seeing anyone when we were locked up in our houses. And he contacts Cheryl and says, my wife Cheryl, and he says, Aldo deserves to be celebrated. So we're doing something at my house. And she's like, you are? And so I called Steve. I said, hey, are you sure? You want just me to come over, or you want one or two guys? What are you thinking? He's like, as many as you want. So we kept it small, but that, again, that's who Steve was. And so, Becky, Hannah, Will, look around you, right? We are all your extended family. And there's a lot of love here for you, and it doesn't stop anytime soon. This endures. Okay, so don't ever hesitate to reach out. We all want to be there for you. And so please remember that. And so I'm going to close my thoughts with a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, and it goes, it's not the length of life, it's the depth of life. And I'll tell you what, Steve Sumner had depth. His life had incredible depth, and it will endure. And so thank you. We miss you, Steve. And indulge me, he's such a massive Niner fan. When I say go, I need you guys to yell Niners one time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Niners!
Oh, shoot, I got scared. It's okay. You're okay. Oh, this is right.
Short people. My name is Brett Herding. I'm a neighbor and friend of the Sumner family. I started thinking about things about Steve, and I just started writing down ideas, just one word, boom, boom, boom. I started putting them together. I'm like, he's not that complex. I mean, it comes down to 3 things, right? There's family, numero uno, Niners, and Yosemite. It's 3 freaking things. He's not that difficult to figure out. So, I think about family, and if anybody's been lucky enough to spend I gotta go down a little bit, it's driving me nuts. Anybody's spent a dinner over at the Sumner's house, or had them over for dinner, and they're both at your dinner table, or all sitting around maybe eating some appetizers, Steve's phone and Becky's phone at the same time. Bing, bing, bing. You don't think anything of it. Okay, it's a calendar reminder. A couple days later, 6:30 rolls around. Bing, bing, bing. Both phones go off again. What is going on here? Third time, a week later, same thing. 6:30. Bing. You guys got to take meds? What is going on here?
No, you know what I'm talking about. Steve set up a calendar reminder, says sex. 6:30. And poor Becky can't figure out how to turn it off. He was there for like 18 months.
Oh my God.
Am I lying?
You're not lying. So gross.
It does not work. We all tried, Chris, we all tried to implement it. It doesn't work. But God bless Steve. He was a thinker. He was a thinker.
Thank you for making me laugh.
But I also think about family, like the hikes, OBB, all the different names that they had for him. OBBC, take the C off, and it's an OBB. Indian Princess, soccer games, as Aldo was saying, you know, refereeing all the games. I mean, he's the man. He was always the guy. Oh, hey, the coach didn't show up. All right, I'll try it. Yeah. I don't know anything about football, but okay, well, you know, Andy's not here. Let's go. That's the kind of guy Steve was. You know, he just freaking threw himself into all the family stuff. You start thinking about the second thing. So you think about 49ers. So 49ers have had some lean years, right? One of these lean years, we as a community, a few of our neighbors, we decided, let's start a fantasy football league. We're all just, you know, we're kind of amateurs. We're not really that into it. And we said, let's start fantasy football league. And this is how dedicated Steve is to the 49ers. For those of you who don't play fantasy football, you cannot win by picking every player on the same team. It's impossible to win fantasy football by picking only players from one team. So we started this league, you know, it's a couple $100, and Steve says, I'm going to just pick Niners. All Niners, like guys on the practice squad, they may never see a down. They may never play a fucking down the whole season. The guy wins. Not really. Not really. So the next year we didn't invite him back. We said, Steve, I don't want your money. I mean, that's not the point. And, trying to have fun here. And then there's the other lady in his life, and I'm sorry to bring it up now, but there's Yosemite.
Okay.
Sometimes Steve would check in. He'd go under an alias, Fireball Steve.
Oh, Fireball Steve.
Fireball Steve. Well, this is one of those places, you know, it's a local place, right? And we all kind of take it for granted. And we, you know, it's so close, and we can all take advantage of this national treasure. Sorry. I didn't take advantage of it. I didn't appreciate it. And my kids didn't get, like, really understand it. I'm like, yeah. And then we started going there with the Sumners, and like, this is one of my favorite places in the world. Yosemite rocks. It's their best memories. They love it. And I appreciate that. And anyway, the last thing I wanted to stop with here, and I apologize for going so long, is we all have like a short list. And I was talking about this with the guys the other night. You know, we all have our short list. There's the, hey, I cooked too much food, come over. Yeah, a lot of us can feel that. You know, Steve was definitely first one in the hopper. Yeah, I can come over. You made too many ribs, I'll be there. But then there's another short list, the short list. Like, hey, I need somebody. I don't come as you are. I need some help. I need somebody. I'm going to give you a quick story, and this is just one of many. Steve, I've been offline here. I've been stuck in a cove. I'm actually on a fishing trip with my friends. I have no cell coverage. I just got it, and I got all these messages. Dude, apparently there's a rat in my house. My wife has just left me 10 messages. Dude, I've already been there. I already came over. Dan and I, we went under the house. We buttoned everything up. Don't worry about it. Bro, enjoy your trip. Let's barbecue when you come home. That's a true story. That's your short list. That's the, I need somebody, and I there's only a few people I could call to do that.
Steve's that guy. And Steve's probably on, there's a couple hundred people here. He's everybody's short list. And Becky, you have been that person. You've been that person too. And I want you to know how important you are to this community. And I'm going to end this real quick here. My challenge to this group here is none of us can fill those shoes, right? But as a community, everybody, I challenge you, get those kids, make sure they have your number, and let's all try to be a part of these family, as they've been that rock for us. That's it. Thanks. Love you guys.
So much, Brett. Thank you. Love you.
Hi, I'm Jackie Appel Wheeler. I met Allison when we were 4 years old on Halloween. So Steve was a toddler. And the thing that inspired me, they lived right down the street from me, and Bob and Steve were the brothers that I didn't have, and they welcomed me into their family. The thing about Steve that inspired me so much was his work ethic. This started when he was this small. I mean, his paper route, do you guys know him as a kid? Remember his paper route? He did that damn paper route every single day. And if there was something he had to go to do a sports thing or something and he couldn't do his paper route, he would hire me to go and take over his paper route for him. But I think he only gave me a percentage of what he actually took in. Steve was thrifty. He could save. There was one time we were short, I think, a quarter or something to go get a candy bar. I said, well, maybe we could just, borrow it from Steve, and Allison just laughed. I said, well, maybe we could just, like, he doesn't have to know. She's like, he'll know. He knows every penny he has. But, I make light of it, but his work ethic was so amazing, and his ability to save money, to be conscious of how he wanted to spend it. He was really inspiring to me, and he was just such a wonderful guy. I felt so welcomed into the family, and I'm just gonna really miss him. Thank you.
In the interest of time, while the next few folks are speaking, there's going to be lighters going around to get those candles lit. Go ahead, Andy.
Good evening. My name is Sean Burns, and when I was in high school, Bob Sumner, Steve's older brother, was my best friend. It was quite clear, though, I was never Bob's best friend. Bob's best friend was Steve, always. And Steve, even back then, had traits that made him a lot of people's best friends. He has that incredible, warm, genuine smile. He has an innate curiosity about everyone else. And I think it would be nice for Will and Hannah if we look around and have a show of hands of how many people felt that Steve Sumner was their best friend at one time or another in their life. That's really, really impressive. That's a real gift. Steve had that really fun side, even when he was a little kid. We have some history here. Allie, I don't know if you know this, but our fathers were in law school classmates. Yep. And then my mom and Becky worked together at the hospital. My mother has Alzheimer's and struggles to remember a lot of things. But when I talked to her about Steve yesterday, we were on a walk, and she said, Becky was so much fun. She used to always come up to talk to me, and we'd always have a good laugh. So she said to say that she loves you. But Bob, Steve's brother, worked at Baskin-Robbins for many years. And I know that because we got a lot of free ice cream there. But I learned something. Bob said, John Gates just left, another classmate of ours, and we were roughhousing in Baskin-Robbins. And John pushed Steve. Steve is maybe 6th grade at the time. And Steve falls into the glass. The glass shatters everywhere. John and I stand there dumbfounded. What in the world do we do? Steve is gone on his bike halfway to Hurlingham Road in about 4 seconds. And Bob said, what do you guys got to learn from Steve here. Steve was a real character also. Even as a little kid, like this story, my brother and I, my brother was older than me. We were studying at Burlington San Mateo Public Library right after the Celtics, our favorite team, had lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. Why was he a Milwaukee Bucks fan? Do you know?
I don't know.
Steve was and Milwaukee had upset the Celtics in a sweep. And Steve Sumner, this little 5th, 6th grader, comes in with a little broom and starts brushing our table, me and my brother, just to rub it in. He had that great sense of humor. He was always a lot of fun. That smile was warm, friendly, but also really knowing. And he supported me a lot as my own brother has had some struggles. Steve really navigated a lot of that road for me. And I always appreciate the wisdom that he showed me and the kindness, generosity of spirit. I'm going to hand the mic to Julie Perry.
Thank you, Sean.
Hi. Hi, Becky. I'm Julie Perry. I say that because it's been a long time. I've called myself that. I go by Juliana, but I'm Julie Perry to these guys. And I always called him Stevie, so I know he is Steve, but he'll always be Stevie in my eyes. I've known him. I had the pleasure of being besties with his sister, dated his older brother, and I was Stevie's chauffeur. So I would drive him around. I know Gavin McCarthy's here somewhere, and he and Stevie would sit on the back of my convertible and hoop and holler, and I'd always have to run away and drive quickly past the police. But the thing that really strikes me, I'm not from Danville. I actually came over from Santa Cruz, and it is so amazing to see what a tight community you are. And it does not surprise me because Stevie works his magic, you know. He loved family. I mean, Bill, Nancy, that Hurlingham house, it always was about love. It makes total sense that my candle fell. That this, you know, everyone's speaking about his love for family. Haven't met his son or daughter yet. Hi. But I do want to say that I actually knew Stevie when Joe Montana and Dwight Clark were there at the Niners. So I can say that he actually teased me that I like the Niners. So it's kind of funny that he not only really likes the Niners that I hear, but dogs. He likes cats. Yeah. So it's just this wonderful. I love that. Anyway, Stevie, I'll miss you. Be well, everyone.
Hi, my name's Mo. I went to college with Steve at LMU, and long story. So living here in Danville, I'm walking around, and there's 2 other women that I've met that I went to school with, and seen them around Danville, and I got the hi Mo. When I'm all, hey, I've moved here too. And they were like, fuck. And I'm all, got it. And so long story short, my kids went to Baldwin, which is right here. And I'm at the pumpkin patch, Jones Pumpkin Patch. It's what you do with your kindergartners here. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Steve Sumner. And I was like, oh, I cannot take any more rejection. But I did. I totally walked up and I'm all, Steve Sumner? And I backed up because I'm all, can't handle this. And he's all, hey, Mo. And I'm all, and our life was never better. Our life became so rich in so many ways. And you're our family. And it's just amazing what we have. And I have to say that Steve made everybody feel like, when I'm like, no, Steve's our best friend. Steve and Becky is our best friend. But Steve and Becky make everyone feel like they are their best friend. And our lives are so much richer and beautiful. And the things we have done, and our children are so close, and you are our family. I love you.
We love you, Mama.
I love you.
Oh, gosh.
Hello, my name's Rev. I was 9 years old when I met Steve. He was my neighbor in San Mateo. And how I met him, I was riding my bike in the neighborhood and my chain fell off my bike. And here comes Steve outside asking me if I need help. He showed me how to put a chain on a bike. From there on, he asked me if I watched sports, which I didn't know. I was a 9-year-old boy with a single mom, didn't have any knowledge of sports. He asked me about the Giants. I had no knowledge. 2 weeks later, Steve knocked on the door and asked my mom if he could take me to a Giants game. And my mom trusted him. That's the first time my mom ever met him. From there on, it became a tradition. Went to every Giants game. We had a competition team with the most hot dogs, cotton candy, who got sick first. But he did a lot for me. I fell in love with sports because of Steve. And every day he would come outside, play catch for me, play baseball. Becky, you know, he used to watch us play in the front lawn every day. He always made time. He never once said, no, Rav, I can't play today. And that's something I would never forget as a child. And I think the person I became today is because of him. I coach middle school basketball. I pass on youth sports, my love for sports for kids because of Steve. And I thank him so many times every Father's Day. I message him, Happy Father's Day, Steve. You're my mentor. You're my father figure growing up. And he did a lot for me. And I can't ever thank him anymore. The last time I saw him was on my 30th birthday in August. He came all the way down. He told me he's very proud of the man I became. And I looked him in the eye and I said, it's because of you. You're the reason who I am today. And I can never, ever repay him for what he did for me and my family. And I love him. I'm going to miss him deeply. Becky, I'm here for you guys as well. Thank you.
Rob.
Hi, my name is Scott, and I'm a friend of the Sumner family, Becky, Hannah, Will. You know, and I was fortunate enough with my family to live in the court with Steve and their family. And I first want to say Steve did have a second name. It was Habanero. That was his. Anyone in Indian princesses will know he could cook and he loved hot sauce. So very fitting name. But I just needed to say that, you know, Steve made all the things we do better. It was the camping trips. The fire was always bigger when Steve was there, and it always went later. The Niner games didn't start at 1. They started at like 6 in the morning. It went on, and it was fantastic. And opening day at Giants game, it just is always better with Steve. But what I will miss most is the memories of just hanging with Steve, sitting in the court, talking about the kids, him riding skateboards as a kid or basketball. It's the little stories and just the connection and the sincere friendship. I will sincerely miss Steve and Becky and Hannah and Will. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
It is great to see everyone out here. Yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you.
We were fortunate enough to grow up with Becky since childhood. And we've also fortunate enough to watch Becky and Steve's beautiful relationship blossom. And it felt like love from the minute. It was so fast. They fell in love so fast. And it was, you know, watching them hold each other up through so many challenges in their lives, and they stayed together, and they persevered through so many ups and downs. we were fortunate to learn from them on how to be a loving and wonderful family. I'm having a hard time. I'm always elected to talk. Anyways, watching Steve as a parent and his amazing devotion to his family has been truly inspirational. So I think everybody here, it looks so pretty out there with all these candles. So thank you all. Thank you to all of Becky's such amazing army of friends that have come together and made this such a wonderful night. And they have truly, truly just shown what it's like. And I think that, you know, the love that Becky and Steve have given has come back in tenfold. And we're lucky to have every single one of you. And we're going to be there no matter what, Beck, we will.
All right. I love you all. Thank you for being my angels.
Hello again. I had to come back out because I'd be remiss. There's a name that's come up, and his name is Bob, and it's Steve's brother. And maybe a lot of you don't know about Bob, but Steve idolized his brother. And Mr. and Mrs. Sumner lost 2 sons. And Steve didn't talk about it much. He talked about it when it was late night. He talked about it when he was hurting. But he'd idolized Bob. And I had to come up here and say this because I know how he felt about him. I know how he loved him. I know how he shaped his life. And Mr. and Mrs. Sumner lost both of them. I just want you guys to, when you remember Steve, for Steve, remember Bob. Steve always thought about Bob. So I had to come back up and say that. Thank you guys very much. Love you, Steve. Love you, Bob.
Oh, my girls. My girls. Our girls.
Hi.
Our girls.
We really don't know what we're gonna say, but we do have a couple, like one quick story that we want to talk about. But first of all, Hannah and Lexi and Ashlyn have been best buds since kindergarten, and we've watched them grow up together. Our families have grown together, and it's heartbreaking what's happening right now. It's heartbreaking. We had something called Fun Fridays for a while, where our girlfriends would get together and we'd have some wine, and the kids would come home from school and, you know, just have a good time, order some dinner, and Ashlyn would have to go to dance, and I'd say, how are we going to get her to dance? And Becky would say, well, just Steve. We'll call Steve. Steve will be there. And Steve would drive Ashlyn to dance, or he'd drive Lexi to dance. Whatever Becky asked, Steve was there. Beck, we're your army. We love you. I'm so sorry.
Love you.
Beck, I hope you can take this all in. And I just want to end with saying that, you know, Steve, I know you're up there, but we all have you guys. We do. Forever.
Yeah.
And you mean the world to us.
I love you.
I love you so much. So, we got him, Steve.
Thank you. I love you guys so much. Love you guys. Love you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lars. I didn't have a lot of time being Steve's friend, but we got to know each other real quick. We had a very similar sense of humor. We had awesome conversations many, many times, again, around a campfire that went way too late. They got way too dark, the conversations anyways, because the fire never went away. And when I met Steve, it was always, what do you do? Who are you? I want to get to know you. And I was the car guy, as many of you know. I do most everything with cars. It's crazy. Anyways.
Yeah.
I mentioned to Steve once that, hey man, come on, let's come race a car with me. And he's like, whatever. And I kept after him. And after 2 or 3 49er games or Giants games in the cul-de-sac on a fire, I said it one more time. Hey man, got this new race league. Come racing with me. He's like, all right, let's do it. And me and a couple of neighborhood dads got together, and I had an old race car, and we tore it down to nothing. And Steve jumped in, as we all know, with both feet blind, no care in the world. I'm doing this. Lots and lots of questions, and tested me on all my knowledge, and wanted to know as much as I could give him on what it was all about. And he was a closet car guy. You would never be able to tell. He had so many passions, so many loves. But yeah, he was that guy that would show up at the racetrack, and he would be, as you all know, all in. One of my fondest memories is we were at I think it's the very first race that we did. No, I take that back. It's the second race that we did. We're in a faster car. He's doing better and better and better. And I'm on the radio with him. And he was the last driver to go. We had 4 drivers, and he was the last one of the day. It's like 7 or 8 hours into the race. He's been driving the car for 2 hours and passing people and getting faster and faster and having the time of his life. Just hooting and hollering on the radio, yelling at people as he'd pass them, cussing, cursing as they would pass him. And I came over the radio and I go, all right, man, last lap. This is going to be a checkered lap. It's been 2 hours. And he basically told me, sorry for the foul language, everyone, but fuck you, I'm not getting out of the car. I'm having the time of my life. I'm having a better time today than the last time I got in the race car, which was yesterday. I'm not getting out of the car. It's like, well, dude, they're going to shut the track down. You got to get out of the car. He said no. Checker flag flew. He came in. He refused to get out of the car. He loved that thing. He became my friend for various reasons, and I will miss him greatly. I don't call many people friends, and he is and always will be my friend. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lars.
Hello. So my name's Craig, and this thing's tall too. I stand down. So my name's Craig Ellis, and
Steve and I met Venture Guides through OBB, which was something that I didn't realize at the time, but has turned into one of the most important things in my life, and where I really got to know the Sumners and Will, particularly, right? He was OBB, and Becky and Hannah, and Adventure Guides is somewhat of a cliche, and it's this group and they're together and doing this, but what it really ended up being was a really unique opportunity for families to come together and to really get to know each other. And we became really close with the Sumners, and it's from kindergarten to third grade, right? And it's deep, and you go to Jones Gulch, and we would have our weekly meetings, and Derek Lohr was our chief, and Rod Santoro was our assistant chief, and we would have these meetings, and we'd have holiday dinners, and we just really, we had moved from San Mateo, ironically, where Steve had come from, and so we didn't know anyone really here. So it just felt it was a really special time. I'm so grateful that we had OBB. I mean, I remember watching games, and we would just be at the house and the Bashels and just everyone. So, Steve, the one thing about Steve, and I've been talking about this last handful of days, is we're thinking of he was the most non-judgmental person I think I've ever met in my life. He never drew opinion. He just never judged people. He took them for what they were. I really admired it a lot. It's a hard value to have. And even when someone feels something, Steve, he just never went there. He never, ever, ever. And I don't think in my entire life I've ever met a man or a woman that never went there. And I don't know where he got it from, but he just would not say anything. He never drew judgment against people. And I just think it's an incredible characteristic to have, and it's something that I wish I had. That strength that he had to do that. He loved music. He loved music, and I love music. You guys know me. I love music, and I usually will probably try to steal the music tonight from Andy because I was helping him work the playlist before. But I just love music, and I'd go to shows with him, and I still have tickets on my phone to go see Roger Waters with him. And I called him when it got canceled. I'm like, what do you want to do? And he's like, let's just hang on to him. Let's just do that. And, I was a group of us went and saw The Life of Brian, this movie in Berkeley. And he laughed. He just loved that stuff. So, sports, Niners, he was a super fan. He was the super fan. He was. And the picture I put up there was with Andy and his wife Michelle and me and Steve, and it was my fondest memory of Steve. So I don't know what to say. It's Will. Hey, you've got a lot of people here that love you. And Hannah, your strength has been unbelievable. And you're not alone. And OBB is here for you. And there's OBB. It's not just the OBB with your father that we knew when we'd go to Jones Gulch, and we'd go to Yosemite every year and all the fun stuff we would do together. But there's the bigger OBB. Right? It was bigger than just the little circle we had.
it was a bigger one. And we're all here for, there you go. It was. So I just want the family to know we love you. And we're very thankful to have you in our lives, and you're not alone. And I mean, I pledge to you my entire life, I will be here for you. Okay, Anna, Will, Beck, you got it?
Got it. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Hello, my name is Gavin. I met Steve freshman year of high school, and listening to all these stories, I mean, I could tell so many. All I can say is that Steve was great at everything. Great father, great husband, great brother. We all know he was a great athlete, basketball, soccer, volleyball, skateboarding, and the half pipe in their backyard that him and Bob built. The Thanksgiving football games at Park School, someone said earlier. But he was also a great musician. We were in the band together. He would play the bass, saxophone. I played the tuba. We were in the back, but always joking. He was a great comedian. Julie Perry said he was a chauffeur, and I was on a couple of those car rides. And remember, she would leave, and we would turn on the heat and the radio full blast, and all the sprinklers and the blinkers and everything. So we all know he was a great comedian. He was a great cook, of course. Someone said about the habanero. I remember watching him eat a habanero burger. That would burn most people's face off. But he just was great at everything he did. Road trips to concerts and everything. Just loved life. And I remember one story, our high school yearbook. You'd look through the pictures, and there was Steve in every single picture. The girls' tennis team, the math club, all of them. He photobombed everything. I don't know how he got away with it. But most of all, he was a great friend. I just moved to the area, and within a week, they invited a stranger from out of town to someone's parents were out of town and invited me to play cards and smoke cigars and drink some beers. We didn't worry about that, but he was a great friend, and I could probably say he's probably my best friend. So just want to say, love you guys, and love Steve, and we will miss him dearly.
Thank you, Gav. Chasey.
Hi, I'm Chase, and Steve was basically my second father. Every big event in my life, Steve's probably been there. I love Steve so much. He's in Yosemite. Every time in Yosemite.
Tell the story. No, don't tell the story. Tell the story.
So,
Tell the story. Please don't tell the story. Tell the story. Tell the story. Just say the quote then. Say the quote. No.
Okay, so, well, I just want to say, Steve was really amazing, and I'm not good at this, man.
You are good at it, honey.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
You're good. You got it.
Well, burgers every Sunday.
Yeah.
This is gonna make no sense, but P gang for life, man. P gang for life. Thank you.
Love you. Love you, Chasey.
Thanks, Chase.
Oh, Mike. My dear Mike.
Hi, everybody. My name's Mike. I'll try real hard to get through this. I really appreciate everybody being out here. It really means the world. It's kind of funny hearing all these stories, everybody getting up and talking. You hear this kind of reoccurring theme. he really was an amazing guy on so many different levels. He had so many different layers. He just did everything right. He just seemed like the perfect guy. I've known Steve for a long, long time. We grew up playing soccer together. He was actually one of my first bosses. He was a painting foreman. My mom was an elementary school teacher. She got us a job painting schools in Burlingame. And Steve took me under his wing, taught me everything he knew. I actually painted a rock today, and I heard him yelling down, "You better prime that thing twice." And we became really, really good friends. It's so funny, you know, I haven't talked to him on a regular basis for a while. You get caught up in your own life. You always think there's going to be another day. I hear all these stories about all these great things he's done, and Yosemite, and blah, 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 blah. But Steve was really a simple guy. He liked to drink beer. Plain and simple. That's what we did. We drank beer long before we were supposed to drink beer. And we bought the cheapest beer we could possibly get, and we bought the most we could possibly afford. And we usually drank it until it was all gone. We stayed up late at night. We watched wrestling. We watched comedy. We had so much fun. Yeah, we never knew who was going to show up, but that was Steve. He wouldn't call anybody. People just showed up, and it was just one of those things where people gravitated towards him because they wanted to be with him. There was something really, really, really genuine about him that I just haven't met too many people like that. His brother was a really special person to him. He didn't talk a whole lot about it. Bob Sumner and I actually worked together for Steve, of all things. And Bob was an interesting guy. He was really fun. And I'll never forget standing up on top of an elementary school, a big bucket of paint. And Bob just said, "Mike, put that brush down." And we used to just watch the planes land in San Francisco. I used to think, man, what is that guy thinking? That is the weirdest thing. And the more we did it, the more I realized how beautiful a thing it was, just that plane coming down and landing. And we would just sit up there, and I was thinking, damn, Steve's working his ass off somewhere. And you're his brother. But I guess I'm going to go with that. So we would just sit up there and watch planes land for 20, 30 minutes and think, what a beautiful thing. And I really grew to love Bob because he just had just a totally different perspective of things. And we lost Bob. And I don't think I ever really knew how special of a person he was to Steve. And that really hurts. As one of Steve's best friends, Glenn, got up here and talked about, Bob passed away just yesterday, 11 years to the day. And I've been, like all of us, trying to figure out how this could possibly happen. Steve, of all people, there's no words to explain it. He was invincible. And the more I've been thinking about it, I've just been thinking there was a part of Steve that needed to get closer back to his brother. For him to go all the way up to Mount Diablo, get up there on that day, so damn close. I think he would never want to leave us. He would never want to leave his family. But I think there was just a part of him that maybe needed to be closer to Bob. And I think that's okay. We're going to all grieve together. I didn't know a body could cry so much. I cried for 48 hours straight. I don't think I slept a wink. I started talking to friends, people that knew Steve, and he brought people together. He made us laugh. It's kind of funny. I was actually talking to Glenn. I shouldn't put him on the spot, but we were saying, kind of funny, a candlelight vigil for Steve. I don't know if this is exactly how he wanted this to go down.
It's more for me.
Thanks, Beck. We're gonna definitely do this another day. We're gonna have a feast. There's gonna be all kinds of food, every drink you can think of, barbecues, laughter, crying, all the fun in the world, because that's what Steve would want. And I know that day will come, and I hope all of us will be there. I've read some of the Facebook posts. I just joined that damn thing not too long ago. It's amazing all the stuff that he was involved in. I hope all the things that you guys are all have shared with him, all the things that he's been a part of, I hope we continue to do it in his name, whether it's the Cran Initiative, bike rides, Yosemite, everything in this community. If there was anything that Steve would want, it would be for us to continue to move on, to grieve together, to cry, mourn, but then to laugh, to cherish his moments, share those stories together, however we want to do it. We will never forget him. He will leave a void in my life that will never be filled. And I think a lot of people will feel that same way, and that's okay. But together, we'll get through this. That's what Steve would want. He wants that big barbecue, a lot of beers drunk, a lot of stories told. Sorry. You write all this stuff down and then it just doesn't come out right, but I'm just going to keep talking. We used to paint, go to Giants and Niners games. We didn't talk about anything. We just drank beer. And hear all this stuff about family and all this stuff. Man, it's so funny. We just kind of let all that stuff go. And we just sat there and enjoyed each other's company. When the time was right, we would start talking. And those are days that I will never forget. But tonight I'm going to talk about his family because they're really special. I'm going to start with his daughter, who on that night when I got that call, the words out of my mouth were, "What do you mean? It's impossible. This must be a joke." And I got in my car and I drove over there. because I refused to believe it. And I sat in my car when I saw all the cars there and I saw people in the huddle. And I didn't have the strength to get in my car and talk to anybody. And one of the first people that got up when they saw that I was there was his daughter. She came over to me, pulled me out of my car, gave me a big hug, and told me, Mike, thank you for being here tonight. She didn't have a tear in her eye. She said everything's going to be all right. And I thought, holy shit. Steve really raised that girl right. He would be so freaking proud of you. You are a special person. Your strength is incredible. And that has really, really, really inspired me. Well, it's kind of a funny story, but I actually work in medicine. They kind of let me operate on people, which is kind of a funny story. And I was at work one day, I was in scrubs, and I came around the corner, and the Sumner family was there. I didn't really see them, and apparently Beck yells out, "Is that Mike Seward?" And Becky could tell you a whole lot of stories about me. Not always the best stories. And I came over, and I hadn't seen him in a while, and we just laughed, and it was so funny to see you guys there in the hospital, and kind of broke the ice. And I called Steve that night, and I said, man, I'm glad you didn't just run away, you know, having seen me there. A lot of people probably would do that. They knew I was even in the hospital. And we got talking about Will, and he just told me, Mike, you don't know this, but there's just something really special about Will. You know, we were saying, you don't know how much you love somebody until you've got to give them away to people you don't know in surgery. That's a really hard thing. And I understand that. And he just told me, man, that boy is so special to me. There is something about him you don't understand. And Will, I don't know if you, I know you didn't ever hear that story, but I just want you to know that I saw some tears in your dad's eyes when you were on that stretcher and they wheeled you away. He didn't want me to see those tears. But later that night when we talked, he told me, man, he loves you so much. You are so special. And that just meant the world to me. So you two kids, you guys just know that, you know, he may not be with us physically, but he's all around us in this community. And we're going to do everything we can possibly do to help you guys. Okay, he's with us. He's up there. Okay. Lastly, Beck, man, oh man. I think one of the last conversations I had with Steve was, I think when COVID hit, I said, we need to have another skip and go naked party. Some kind of margarita beer drink before we had kids. It was one of our favorite things. I just love you so much.
Love you too.
And I know Steve won't ever be back with us physically. I've been talking to him up above. It's brought me a lot of I've just been feeling better about doing that. I've been saying, I hope you're up there drinking beer. I bought some of this cheap stuff in his honor, and I said, I hope you're watching wrestling. I hope you're hanging out with Bob, and I hope they got food up there and you guys are having a feast, man. But Beck, we're gonna get through this together. This is the new normal. This is your new family. And I know I will personally make a commitment. I know my family and I know the friends that you have. We will do everything that we can possibly do to help you guys. And I think this community will do that as well. We need to get together every month, every year, do whatever we'll do. That's what we'll do. Steve was that special. So I just want you guys to know, you guys take your time. We're all here to help and grieve. We'll get through this. We will move on. And there will be brighter days. So thank you so much, everybody. Steve, I love you so much. I will never forget you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike. That was really amazing. Yeah, I need to be a little shorter too. My name is Sunil, and I am representing, or I want to represent the class of 1988 Crystal Springs Uplands High School. And oh, by the way, the name of that basketball player was Chris Bischoff, and he was good at basketball, but Steve was good at every sport he played, and there was no comparison. I think he was Athlete of the Year in Crystal Springs of 1988 or 1987. So just to set the record straight, Steve was a phenomenal athlete. I have two stories. One story which will be a part of all the other stories here, telling you what a great guy he is. And then he was also a pretty sly guy too. So he had a one-liner for just about any situation, which I'll tell you about right after this one. I came to ninth grade at Crystal Springs, and I am, I think, the only brown kid in this whole school. And I come to class the first day and I'm hiding in the back. I have braces, I have pimples, probably a mustache, and I'm 5'3". And the class is about to start. This is Mrs. Pfeiffer's English class. And as soon as the bell rings, this good-looking surfer guy, looks like Jeff Spicoli, but so much more charismatic, just strolls into the class. And I think the only seat that was available was the seat right next to me. So he looks over to me, he says, "I'm Steve." And I said, I'm Sunil. And he's like, "Oh, Sunil, nice to meet you. What are you doing next week? Come over and hang out at my house." And I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here? He must be talking about somebody else, but he invites me over to his house, and that became a really amazing friendship after that. Steve never cared what color you were, what background you were a part of, what ethnicity, what social status. He didn't care about any of that. He was all inclusive, and that's basically why everyone is here today. Everyone that came into contact with, he loved everybody. My first beer was with Steve. My first Michoacana burrito was with Steve. My first concert was with Steve and Gavin. My first everything was basically with Steve. Actually, my first beer was not with Steve. It was technically with Bob. We went to a wrestling match and we started drinking beer. And I never had a beer in my life, and I felt so, I was on top of the world that these guys, and by the way, Steve's a good-looking guy, but if you've seen Bob, you know Bob is something else. And Bob offers me a beer, and we start drinking beers, and by the time you know it, the Cow Palace is sold out, so we couldn't even get in to see the wrestling match. Now the Sly story. Okay, we're 22, 23, 24 years old, and one of our mutual friends, Derek Latour, is getting married in El Paso, Texas. So we go to El Paso, Texas. It's me, Gavin, no, not Gavin, sorry, me, David Watts, and Steve. And the pre-party was at this house with a pool, and they had a huge Mexican feast with a keg of beer. And so we're all happy. The three of us who are not getting married, we're just having a great time. And at the end of the night, one of Derek's in-laws comes over to the three of us and says, guys, do you want anything Mexican to take home? Very quickly, Steve says, well, is she cute? And I look at Steve and I start laughing. And this relative of Robin's was just like, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. What is wrong with you? But we are just dying of laughter. And that's just Steve. He had an answer for everything. He had a joke for everything. And the man is one of a kind. I'm never going to refer to him in the past. He is one of a kind. Hannah, I will always buy 100 boxes of chocolate from you. Whatever you want, I am there for you, okay? I love you, Becky. Will, whatever you guys need, we're all there for you. The entire class is behind you guys. We love Steve. Thank you for bringing us all together. Thank you guys for letting me speak too. Thank you, Steve.
You want to introduce this person?
Okay, so Steve's cousin texted me and really wants to speak, so I'm going to put it through my phone. I hope it works.
All right.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. We hear you. Yes.
Okay, so this is Bonner.
Oh, Bonner.
I'm from the East Coast. Wow, this is hard. Allie, Becky, Hannah, Will, Bill, Nancy, we love you. I know not everybody could get on from our family, but the memories of Gaga's farm, swimming across the pond to the rock, and swimming out and being covered in leeches. Allie, you can remember those days. And then being in Gaga's blue station wagon, all loaded up, going through the tunnel, and we would all hold our breath or scream all the way over to Dairy Queen. So you guys all know how amazing Bob was. Growing up as a kid, he's in California, we were on the East Coast. We didn't see a lot of each other, but when we did, it was great times. And when I was in Arizona, I was able to see him a little more. He loved to cook. And when he became a father, as you all said, he was 110% committed to his kids. And I'm sad that I'm not involved in that with their lives like I would like to be. But Becky, you know that I'm here. Hannah and Will, you do have support on the East Coast. Okay? Allie, I love you. I think we can all remember and know that Steve is with Bob, and he passed on doing something he loved. Yeah. And if we can remember that, that's how we all would want to go, is doing something we loved. So let's all just take that moment and embrace somebody, tell somebody you love them, make that phone call. Yeah. So please know I'm sending love to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonner.
And just real quick, because Becky's parents are online, and so are Steve's. I just really would hope that if everybody can hold their candles up, I'd love to show the people on Zoom. We also have, oh, some of them went out, but we do, if you hold them up high, I think all the, we have aunts and uncles and cousins online. We have so many people.
Lights work too.
Yeah, camera phones. I mean, so many people are online right now who love the Sumners, and I just want them to see all the support that is out there. And yes, Bet, come up here, Hannah, Will. I mean, it's amazing. And I just, on behalf of the family, I'm Becky's cousin, Carrie, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. Guys, they have such amazing friends and family, and so much love, so much love. And I just want Steve's parents to see this, and Beck's parents to see this, and all of our relatives and friends on Zoom to know that there's a lot of love and support out here. So thank you.
Love you guys.
Yeah, of course, Beck.
I can't see all your faces now, but I know and I feel all of your love. And I just, again, want to say how grateful we are to live in this beautiful place with so many people. Thank you for sharing your light with us and your love. And it sounds like somebody still wants to talk, and I want you to be able to, guys. But I just wanted to say that. So I love you all. And thank you for making this happen tonight, my angel friends who all came together to put this together for Steve and for Hannah and Will and I.
So I'm Cooper. I'm Cooper Vashel, and the Vashels and the Sumners are basically pretty much one family. Steve was a great guy. Anytime he'd walk into the Burger Sundays, whenever Will's sitting there, it's a my of the most rodissel type, and he'd light up the room whenever he walked in. So I just really want to say Steve was a great guy.
Right on, Coop.
All right, so thanks everybody. We've got that was the last speaker, unless anybody else wants to say a few words. But what we had planned to do was hold the candles up and play a song that he had chosen for Steve. But if you could light up your phones again, and Beck, you come up here just so you can kind of experience all of this, see what I'm seeing from up here. It's beautiful. And we're going to have a couple of moments of silence as I play a song by
Slayer?
no, this one's from Metallica, dude. I know. No, Becky, it's not that. I had to eliminate all the Pantera songs for this.
Do you have lyrics for us?
It's instrumental, dude.
Oh.
And
Better not be bass solo, take one.
you can just hold the lights up for a minute or two.
Okay, everyone. If you want, you can put your phones down, flashlights off. If it's up to you, you know, it drains your battery. I know the deal. I know the deal. I just wanted to like close off and say thank you all for staying. I know it got really cold. Trust me, it's pretty cold out here. I just wanted to say thank you, and if we weren't able to say hi or give you a hug, please know we know that you're here and we love you and we love it. We would love it if you would stop by the house in the next couple weeks because we really enjoy and cherish your love and support to our family. And we really cherish, well, your alarm is going off. We really cherish how our friends and everyone has been so loving and kind to us. And I'm very appreciative of that because it's gonna be hard, but I think with the love and support of our community, it's gonna be a lot easier. And I just wanted to say thank you all so much. I don't know if anybody else in the family wanted to say something.
Thank you everybody for coming. It means a lot to us. I love my dad. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody. We love you. We love you.
Follow mom. If you see any trash around you, please grab it. Find a garbage can. Thank you.
Bye, Dad.
You don't want to
Love
get in
you.
trouble. Thanks.